What's up guys, it's Riding with D, and this is the assembly of the Xpro X9 125. Let's get this thing together. Alright guys, let's get this steel frame out from under there. So you're going to need a 14mm. Obviously I'm using an impact drill here. 12mm for the nut on the other side. Alright, so it looks like the front axle is actually going through a metal angle iron right here, so we'll have to take this off and then snap these two in order to be able to lift it off this frame here. Alright, so it looks like the back shock is not connected to the lower point here. Obviously we got zip ties pretty much everywhere. No idea what that one's for. Obviously the front wheel's not on, handlebars. This little guy here, got the handlebars over there. Looks like maybe some kind of wire or something should be coming down here, but this is pushed in. Gear shifter's not on, nor the pegs. So a few things to do guys, let's get to it. Alright guys, so to tighten up the rear shock here, you're going to need a 13 socket on one side and a 14 wrencher socket on the other side. I'm doing the 13. If you're looking at the back of the bike, it's going to be on the left side and the nut will be on the right. Alright guys, in order to put this front fender on, there's going to be 4 bolts. They're going to be 8mm. They're already in the forks, at least on the one that I got. That's how it's going to be. Alright, one thing that was kind of odd about mine is they had 2 washers on each one on the left side if you're looking at the bike. No washers on the bolts on the right, so it's almost like they forgot to put them on the other bolts. So just putting the washers on the bolts that didn't have any. Alright guys, let's get this front wheel on. Just note that whenever you're looking at the axle, you're going to have 2 different side spacers here. The larger spacer towards the caliper. Let's get it on. Alright guys, just note that the caliper is going to be affixed upward where it's easier to put the tire on. You then undo the bolts. You'll slide the caliper down onto the rotor and then you'll bolt it up. This is going to actually be a 3mm. So we'll take this out. Don't let the hydraulic hose confuse you because this can slide up and down. That's what's going to be with the movement whenever the actual suspension goes up and down. Just a little bit of play in it. Also, one thing I forgot to mention, whenever you're putting the axle on, the tire here, it comes with grease. I had some. You'll just put a little bit of grease on it. And then whenever you tighten up, that way it won't become seized. If you want to take it off again, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So put that joker on. You're going to tighten this down. Obviously it's going to be tighter than hand tight, which is what I'm just doing right now. You'll then slide this down into that before you tighten it all the way down, you'll see the little lip and how it'll fit down in there. It's going to keep your hose from going back and forth. I think hand tight's going to do it with that plastic fit. I don't want to strip it out. All right, guys, let's tighten up this axle here. More power, put it on 3. Like a glove. All right, let's move on to the handlebars. All right, so it comes with everything you'll need in a box. The first box that you actually take off comes with all the hardware for the handlebars. So you'll put this in. You have 2 different ways you can do. If you want them up a little higher, you'll go here. If you want them back closer to, you'll go there. I want mine a little bit further away, so I'm gonna go to the further setting here. All right, this is gonna be an 8mm. All right, to put the front plate on, 8mm. Take this little bolt out. You're gonna have an indent in the back to put your hydraulic hose. Unlike most modern dirt bikes, it's actually gonna be in the front. On this bike, it'll be in the back. See a little lip right in this area right here. Put the hose behind. Tuck these in nice. All right, now for the foot pegs. So just have an understanding of where the spring is. So put it on, make sure you put the end shape part of the spring right there where if it flips up, you can get it up and down, and then just fit it through. It comes with different pins in case these are broke. This one is fine, so I'm just gonna reuse it for now.
Same for this side. So remember, you have the one part right here on the peg, the other will go onto the indent which the peg goes into. Feed it through, give it some persuasion, and then there we go. This one's going to be a little bit harder to get to, so because of the kickstart, so just keep that in mind.
Alright, so one cool thing about this bike is that you can see these wires would flop around right here. It actually has a zip tie that's connected to the frame. So just something to keep in mind whenever you're tucking everything up, making it look nice and neat. They already have it supplied for you. This area on each side. So real nice. All right, guys, so before we can crank this thing up, we obviously need to get this shipping oil out. That's going to be a 17 millimeter. Got your drain bolt right here. Righty tighty, lefty loosey.
Let's just let that drain out.
So we got that much done. Let's put the drain bolt back in. So on the same side as the drain bolt, we'll have the fill area right here. It doesn't tell you in the manual how much oil to put in this thing, but you do have a stick with little striations on it that'll tell you the fill point. So I don't really know how much she's going to take. 10W50 or 10W40, obviously 10W40. Make sure you get the motorcycle wet clutch. That's what we'll put in it. So let's see about how much we'll have to do. This one was already open from another bike, so let's see here.
We'll do about a half a quart, and then try it there. And there's a little less than that in this bike. Let's see where we're at. It's gonna work straight.
It's showing full. Right at it. Which that was about 500 milliliters, which... Alright guys, so let's get some fuel in this thing and see if we can get it to crank up. Some might think it's lazy, some might not. I'm always breaking these goofy, stupid gas tank things, so just got on Amazon, got this real cheap little pump. Real cheap, something you can check out. I'll leave a link below. It's not great quality, probably won't last long, but for just filling up bikes here and there, hey, it works. All right, got a little bit of fuel in it. Let's see how many kicks it will take. Looks like there's fuel in the little filter there. Kind of a odd place to have the choke right next to that. That's also really close to the engine. That might be a problem. I might need to zip tie that up. Let's see if she'll crank up. How many kicks you think? I think the choke is on. We shall see. And is it one of those that where you have to have the clutch pulled in? Okay. So clutch in, nothing. Clutch out, you feel it catch. So clutch out. Assuming that's on. It's got gas. What? Okay, she's trying. Uh-oh, all right. Alright, let's do a half. So I don't know if you can see it on camera. So the idle screw is going to be right here. It has a little rubber plug over it. So get that out and then you can adjust the idle right there. Sort of going up and down, so this could be one of those bikes where you got to replace the carb on it or to do better. But you know, I'll ride it around and kind of see if it gets better, but that at least gets it to where it'll stay on. I'm almost getting close to 2 turns now. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. We got her idling right. We'll see how long she lasts. We'll do a little bit of review on it, so just stay tuned.